Alrighty, what's up, guys? Hope you guys are doing well. I'm back. Sorry for the long hiatus. I'm sorry for taking so long to get back to trading, get back to the routine of things. And honestly, like just kind of getting back or kind of staying consistent. Like over the past, I would say like month and a half, life has been, throwing haymakers at me regarding school, regarding work, regarding things that I needed to do outside and off the charts that I wasn't able to really focus as much as I could have, as much as I should have been able to on the Discord, on YouTube, on making content and everything like that. So, excuse me. But we're back and it's a new year. It's time to, try to like, set the tone for how I want this year to go on and off the charts. But as of right now, we're talking about on the charts. Just a little bit of a backstory or a little bit of explanation. In November, the week of Thanksgiving, that Monday was really like the last trade I took really for the year. And then went on Thanksgiving break, great time. Once I got back, got slammed. Was slammed with just preparing for final projects for all of my classes at school. Um, I'm a finance student in college right now, so a lot of finance projects, things that I had to focus on and give my all to that. So I definitely had to, take a step back from trading and being as consistent in the Discord and on YouTube as well. Um, and then after that, the week after that was final exams, where, if any of you guys have taken final exams before, you know how that goes. You know how stressful that can be. Um, but even after that, I still could have been better with making content and things like that. I just got in this camera here, actually, this little pocket gimbal. Um, we're back. Have new camera here, recording on this. Also, nobody's in the call right now. Nobody's on this except for me. But it's gonna go on YouTube after this, and yeah, that's why I'm doing it right now. But nobody's here yet. Um, just started it, just yapping a bit, but yeah, the goal is to just kind of just this year focus on the inputs, focus on the inputs, focus on the inputs, and really just try to do my best to not really worry about external, but focus on the internal, focus on what I can control. What I can control is how often I post. What I can control is how I schedule my time so that I can put as much content out there as I can, as much as possible, to be able to give value and things like that. Even give you guys an insight on my life right now. I know the charts are important, but I know that's not everything that I can offer to the digital world. I believe that I've tried to um, make this Discord to create a community for people that are like minded, like me, such like minded to myself that want to better themselves in multiple areas of life, not just trading, um, and so that it helps be a little bit more holistic, a holistic view as to how you do one thing is how you do everything. um, this year with the Discord, with YouTube, things like that, going to be a lot more consistent, a lot more intentional. As far as with the Discord, I think last year I was doing a few too many calls per week. I was doing around 3 calls a week, um, Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Um, Whereas on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I was presenting content. I was presenting slides that I was making the day prior or the day of, so that I could be able to talk to you guys about something set in stone, something that I had thought about, something that I had formulated to be able to give to you guys and try to get value. But I think part of it with trading is you can't give so much information so quickly, in the sense of not to gatekeep, but to allow people time to digest instead of just moving straight on to the next thing. I think that a lot of it is internal work, and I can't think that just me just feeding you guys information of whatever I may know is going to bring you to where you want to go. A lot of it is, a lot of it is on your own timing, and a lot of it is on your own development as a trader and as a person. So I definitely don't want to be overbearing in the amount of information that I'm giving anymore. So now we're reducing it to 1 call a week, and that's on Sundays. That's kind of preparing the mind for the week. Obviously, if we want to have calls throughout the week, we can do that. But the goal isn't to just be hammering calls every other day, basically every 2 days, um, on topics that uh, may be too advanced for a newcomer or something like that. So yeah, Yeah, but yes. So with the Discord this year, trying to look to see us grow as a team, be a bit more intentional about how I section things off, and the information that I'm giving to each chat room, and the attention that I'm giving to each chat room. Um, and I have a few things written down. My journal here. What's funny is I actually finished my journal today, or really yesterday. I really just have this space left, and maybe this here, but I do need to go get a new journal. It's filled from front to back. Uh, all of that, all of that there. Good content. Good stuff for me to look back on and reflect on. See how I've improved over the past few years. But yeah. So yeah, with the Discord, gonna be going back to one call. Gonna be going down to one call a week, and just focusing a lot more on the consistency of that and the value that I give within these one calls. So just wanted to preface that before we got into the charts today. Let me actually go back to OBS. Mm, OBS. Let me reduce this. No. This here. There we go. So I'm going to reduce this, and then we'll look at the charts a bit for this upcoming week. This week, I don't really have any buys yet. I had to order a new debit card. Mine got taken from me or used without my authorization, so I had to kind of close that card and get a new one. So my market data subscription was canceled like last Thursday or Friday. So I had to renew it. I just got my new card in the mail, and yeah. So let's go ahead and get to it. But yeah, so basically, um, what I trade ES and NQ. Looking at NQ, well, I don't trade ES. I only trade NQ, and I use ES as another tool to be able to have another type of entry, what I call my Type C entry, um, which I've explained a few times here and there. Hopefully, you guys can like if you just go to my last video or one of my other videos, you'll be able to see exactly how I use it. But let's start off with taking these off. Okay, so for this upcoming week, let me start off with on the monthly, honestly, just to see how price is moving. So price is looking like it's struggling to break above this high here. So if we look at this high that was put in here, price is struggling to hold above that. Um, it's looking like it wants to go above and then break back below. If we look on the weekly from here, it's looking like it's actually retesting. So it's not, price isn't actually struggling as of right now. I think it's just retesting, pulling back to really see if it's going to respect this area now as support. But going back to the monthly, um, that's honestly what we're looking at. I don't really do too much charting on the monthly. I go down to the weekly to start charting just ranges. So the way I trade is somewhat ranges within ranges within ranges, and the high of the market is here, the weekly time frame, and then the low. Oh, it's somebody. What is this? Why do you do that? Yeah. So looking here, this was the low that just got swept. Actually, quite funnily, or quite funny that that happened. Let me refine this a bit. We'll go down back to the daily to do what we're supposed to do with this. But on the weekly, this is the high. Looking to see price continue to the upside within the new year, especially with like politics and the bull run that we are expected to get this year. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if we were to see price just continue going up. But we can talk about that a little bit more later. Um, on the daily time frame, going down to the daily here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this white because this low has already been taken. So now we're looking to possibly see a buy model within price here on the daily, but let's still mark this range out. So a daily of this, let me actually do this weekly, and then turn this blue. Daily high, and then this is a weekly low. that has been taken. So we're open to the longs now. We're open to a buy model, especially the fact that price hasn't broken below it. Price just swept the low, and then we might continue higher. So on the daily, just trying to see if there's anything else. Going back to the weekly, trying to see if there's anything else that I could spot that could help me in my decision making. Do have this gap here that price is operating within. So price is operating within this gap here, but I'm not going to keep it marked because that's just going to create a lot of confusion on the lower time frames. But yeah, so on the daily, looking pretty clean. Low taken, and let's see. Price hasn't broken structure to the downside. I mean, it did considering. I mean, we have this low here that price broke. Price came up, created a lower low. Um, but is failed to continue flowing to the downside and fully break the low. So it's good to be open to longs and open to looking at a possible buy model to take place or to show itself, present itself within the next few days, weeks, or honestly this week, ideally. So yeah, we got this here. Alrighty. So on the 4 hour now, looking to see where price may want to fill gaps or where highs or lows it may want to take. So now looking at the 4 hour, quite honestly, I'm just kind of looking at like these stacked highs. So high here, high here, high here has been taken. Let me go down to the 1 hour real quick and see. We don't really have any gaps that we're looking to see price fill, which is kind of funny. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, so price hasn't fully gone back to an upward trend on the 4 hour time frame. So it really depends on how this candle closes, but the market isn't open right now. The market's going to open at 6, but it's going to be moving slow. Mind you, today's a Sunday, so the market isn't going to open yet. It's still closed right now. But what we can do, quite honestly, is just look at, okay, let's go back to the daily. Just looking, sometimes for me, I'm not the quickest at analyzing. Sometimes I need a second to really figure out like what I'm seeing, and really get a feel for what I'm looking at, so that I'm not just putting stuff on the chart because I hate having a messy chart. I like having a clean chart that's precise in what I'm looking at. So sometimes it might take me a little bit longer to really figure out, okay, like where do I want to place things? Where do I want to identify things just so that my brain can build a correct bias? We broke structure to the downside at this high here. We haven't fully broken structure to the upside on the 4 hour time frame because there's no real low that was put in that has been broken. Now, if this gets broken to the upside, then we're back in an uptrend on the 4 hour, but that hasn't happened yet. So going down to the 1 hour, we have broken to the upside where via this high has been broken, minor, I guess, but retested here, then it's broken again. So we're in an uptrend on the 1 hour time frame. But I'm trying to see lows that could possibly be swept for us to then continue to the upside. So we have, let me go back to the 4 hour and just look. So again, these stacked highs. I wouldn't be looking to see price come all the way down here. Especially like on a 4 hour time frame basis, I'll be looking to see price probably come within here, then continue up if it's looking like it wants to make that move. Going down to the 1 hour again, lows that we can pay attention to, possibly even the 15-minute for continuation, would be to see right here. Okay, if price wants to come and take this tomorrow, which can take place, price can linger here, take this low, continue to the upside. We do have a gap here that coincides with support and resistance. So we'll put a 15-minute here, and then there's a 15-minute here that I'll just mark because it is a large area. Yeah, it would be very nice to see price come and take one of these lows, give us a buy model to continue to the upside. The only reason I'm not really looking at the higher time frames right now because everything's been filled. Mind you, if there was a gap here, this would have been prime position for us to see price retrace and pull back into and rebalance into before going to the upside. But that didn't happen. Um, 15-minute. Yeah, it's pretty slow right now. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. Um, yeah. So yeah, that's really it. Really looking to see if price wants to break this. Go to the 4 hour. This is the area of interest as of right now. As of right now, the high's just been taken. So if anything, what we can do is see if there is a sell model forming. Not really right now. Yeah, nothing really right now to say that we would go short. Mind you, the market isn't open yet, so I'm not going to be able to see anything that's going on. But there isn't anything for me to say, okay, price is going to go short. Now, if price breaks below this low, and then we have a gap here, I could probably see us coming back to fill it up, like, tomorrow morning, and then continue short. But as of right now, that's kind of speculative. I don't want to be too I don't want to be too like assumptive as to what's going to happen or try to predict. I'm not trying to predict what's going to happen. I'm just trying to be open to all different possibilities and make the right decision as to what I should do with my capital, to in the scenario that is presented to me. So, or whatever scenario I find myself in. Um, but yeah, that's really it. That's kind of crazy. I mean, there's nothing really too exciting, quite honestly. If we just continue breaking to the upside, then I'll be looking for continuations, throughout tomorrow if we break to the upside tonight. There is this gap here that has yet to be filled. I'm not too worried about it right now, but let me just mark it. Let me leave it gray. So this has yet to be like reached, because it did break structure to the downside here. And continued flow, like a heavy impulse happened because of this, well, from this gap. So price hasn't made its way back. Maybe we could possibly look to see price come back up into it, and then if there's some consolidation here, then maybe get a sell model to go short. But it's really all about just being open to risk in different areas while maintaining um maintaining like a good defense for yourself mentally and financially and fiscally, um with the money that you're trading. So yeah, so I would say like I would be open to seeing price possibly come down into one of these areas here, sweep a low, sweep a low, make its way up here, possibly make its way down here. um Price wants to do some of this. It could do this tomorrow and then make its way up here because there is enough time. I try to look sometimes at the time, like, is there enough time between here and when I would be even looking to get into a trade, which would be between here, and here, um, for all of this happening. Like, yes, all of this can happen if when the market opens, if price wants to make its way down and then break this low and then just consolidate here and then possibly sweep the low within the morning, possibly create like a internal buy model to then buy up to the high to take out the high, whatever it may be. That can happen, and that'll be very much appreciated, as a good way to start the year. Um, so yeah, just open to different things. Also open to, let's say, let me delete these. So open to like seeing price, impulse to the downside. There's a gap here, come fill it, and then possibly take the short lower. Because then at that point, on the 1 hour time frame, we wouldn't have broken structure to the downside. Only if price were to come up here and then break structure. Let's say price were to break structure to the downside on the 1 hour by seeing price come down into here, come up, and then come back down. We could see that happen, but uh, not not counting on anything. Really, just trying to be open to it, and that's one way that I do that, just by kind of like scenario, like ideation, just coming up with different ideas as to what may take place. So, so yeah, I really only use ES as like a way to see, okay, is there a divergence? Is there a discorrelation between price I don't look to do my own analysis on ES anymore, simply because sometimes it messes me up. Like, I start analyzing it as if I'm looking to take a trade on it, when that isn't the case. As you can see on ES price, so price is pretty lined up right now. There aren't any divergences like that would. Yeah, I'm not really looking at any divergences. I mean, yeah, price is pretty lined up. So all I would be open to right now, let's say the market was open right now and it was 9 o'clock, I would only be open to taking type B entries because there are no divergences on price as of yet. So yeah, that really is it, I think. Yeah, really just open to those scenarios. Pretty simple. Really just want to see how price moves throughout the night and then going into the morning, and then I'll give you guys an update. You guys will definitely get an update as to the trades that I take tomorrow, things that I do on a daily basis to be able to get myself to where I'm supposed to be, um, and where I believe I should be. Um, but yeah, I didn't even record anything on here as of yet. If anything, I don't need to do that. But and I'm sorry, guys. Just trying to find different places to take content from, and try not to miss anything. Like, I can clip this up and put it in the long form video. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So thank you guys for watching. If you like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. I have the Discord link in the description if you want to join. There are like-minded people in here in the Discord that join the calls. I mean, nobody's on the call tonight, but people usually join the calls on the days that I host them. We are going back to one call per week, one scheduled call per week, unless until further notice. So you guys have a good rest of your night, and I will catch you next time.